Today is February 22nd, 2026, the day that I'm recording this video. I received a word from the divine this afternoon, and I typically record the time. However, uh, I was receiving surges of source energy just flooding my entire being, down and then back up and then down and then back up. It was just continuous. It was continuous energy surging through my body. And I just wasn't even thinking of the time. So I'm assuming it was somewhere in the range of 1 p.m., and that would be Eastern Standard Time. I've had these experiences before when I've received divine words, and it's usually when something is occurring, like as we speak, or it's about to occur. So I'm naming this video "It Has Begun" because I have continued. It's now 4:57 p.m. that I'm finally recording this, and I'm still receiving surges of energy running through my body. So I know for a fact that when that happens, it's happening. It is happening in the spirit realm. It is manifesting in the physical realm. And what I received was, the great weeding out has begun. That's what the words were that I received. And that is in quotation marks. The great weeding out has begun. So what that means is there are going to be a lot of individuals that are going to exit the planet during this season. I don't know if that's going to come through natural disasters or if it's going to come through uh, possibly another strand of COVID or a different coincidental disease. That's what we'll call it. I really don't know how it's going to occur, but there is going to be a lot of people that are going to exit the planet. And this is not, we choose when we're going to leave the planet before we even enter. So these choices have been made prior to incarnation. We have to keep that in mind because, we have been taught that death is a final, it's a finality, it's an end that we can no longer grasp. But that's not the truth. Death is not the ending. It is simply a doorway into a different state of being. So we have to keep that in mind. Um, try not to fall into that old mentality, the old ways, the old things that you've been taught, because those are lies. The truth is, your essence, you continue to carry on. You continue to be. You are eternal. Your being is eternal. So the weeding out, just like in a garden, when we pull the weeds out, we are pulling out the things that are corrupting. Wow, there's sirens going right now. That was like divine timing. Um, there are, you're pulling out the things that corrupt. That's really funny, actually. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this on the recording, but there's sirens going on in the background. Um, we pull out the things that corrode and corrupt, the good things, that we plant beautiful plants or beautiful flowers, and then weeds grow up and around it, and they strangle it and they choke it, and it kills the beautiful living things. So we have to go in and we have to garden. We have to pull those weeds out. Well, the divine does the same thing. And I'm not saying that who he's pulling out are bad people, because there is no good or bad. We have all played both sides of the coin. We have all been the villain and we have all been the hero. So we can't look at it as, oh, well, that's why you're out of here. We're all going to leave this plane, this earthly plane, because that's the way it's designed. But there is a great weeding out that's occurring. And part of that process is there'll be some here that decided they don't want to be a part of this season of humanity, and they have chosen to exit before all of these things occur, or while all these things are occurring. We can't ever speculate as to why someone has chosen to leave the planet when they have chosen. And that's not even something that we need to think about or worry about. That's not our concern. That's not our business. It's from an emotional point of view. Yes, we mourn, and we're sad because we want that person in our environment. We want to be able to hold them and touch them and kiss them and hug them and love them in a physical way, but they are still there. Even if it's not in a physical way, they are still there, right there with you. So keep that in mind when these things, occur, and understand that your soul has chosen to be here during this time, and there's a purpose for it. So figure out what that purpose is. Okay, I feel like I said everything that I am supposed to say. I am sending you all lots of love and lots of activation energy.